Today we're taking a look at another Phoibos here on my channel. It is the Reef Master. I am always impressed with the amount of quality that you get from Phoibos for the price that you are paying. This is a watch that comes in well under $300. However, it's a 200-meter dive watch with insane lume and an automatic movement. It's on the chunkier side and it gets a yellow dial. So let's flip the camera and take a look at a yellow dial version of their new Reef Master. So the dial color on this Reef Master 200 is called lemon yellow, and obviously with very good reason. There is also a texture on the dial that is somewhat reminiscent of lemon skin, maybe somewhere in between lemon skin and eggshell, I guess I would say. However, it is a sandwich dial, and the sandwich portion is fully lume. So there is a lot of lume on this dial, and of course there is lume in the bezel and in the hand. So Phoibos always do a really good job with their lume. This is a 200-meter dive watch. It's around 42 millimeters. It's a little bit of a chunky dive watch as well. That's got a couple of reasons behind it. One is the thickness, and two is also the bracelet. The bracelet does not taper, so it does make it wear a little bit bigger. It gets 120 click bezel. Let's listen to the action really quickly. Really nice action. Everything lines up. And obviously that is a ceramic bezel that is lumed. We'll do a lume shot at the end because there is a ton of lume on this watch. Turning the watch on its side, you can see it is robust. It's a very big, chunky dive watch. You do have a very nice signed crown. It is screwed in. I would say the crown is on the smaller side compared to the size of the watch. I would like to see it maybe a little bit bigger, but it is very, very grippy. You also have a screwed in case back, and again, you get that octopus, the same octopus that you get on the front of the dial right below the 12 o'clock index, which is printed on in black. The hands are also black. Those are filled with lume. They're fence post hands. And then you have a black second hand that is filled with lume. That little lollipop looks really good against that yellow background. Stands out perfectly. Very, very legible watch. And obviously that's what they're going for. You do get female end links. You get an H-link bracelet with big screwed links. As you can see, I'll do measurements very, very quickly so you can see what I'm talking about here. At that bezel, we're measuring in at around 41.8. It's a little bit smaller at the case, but it's basically a 42 millimeter watch, and that's what it wears like. The lug to lug on here is a true lug to lug of around 48 millimeters, so 47 and change, depending on where you grab it. And then the crown, like I said, a little bit on the smaller side, 5.8 millimeters. I would like to see it a little bit bigger. 200 meters of water resistance. You do get a domed sapphire crystal, 13.5 millimeters. Not incredibly thick, but on the thicker side, I would say. And then you do have that H-link bracelet that is completely brushed on the sides and on the top. And it does not taper, so it does not taper. It might taper just a little bit at the case, but not a lot, as you can see. And then the buckle. The buckle is a generic, sort of off-the-shelf micro brand buckle. I would like to see something a little bit more bespoke. However, considering the price on this watch, I guess this gets a pass for it because this is a very affordable watch, and we'll get to price in just a few seconds. You do get 4 positions of micro adjust, which works really well. They could put another position here. Not sure if that would interfere with the folding clasp, but other than that, I think it looks good. And then it just signed Phoibos kind of lightly right on the folding clasp. All in all, a really heavy, nicely made watch, and it's really nicely finished. So you can see the case has a very, very big, wide stripe of polish across the top, and then it is brushed on the sides. It is really nicely finished. There's a nice transition between, a very sharp transition between the brushing and polishing. So obviously Phoibos do a really good job. They've done a really good job on a lot of the recent watches that I have featured here on my channel. They keep on stepping up. I would like to see on the fly micro adjust. Again, at this price, I'm not sure how they would do that. So this watch is actually $335, but they're offering $55 off that price until July 15th. So you have plenty of time to buy this watch. However, I think they may sell out of certain colors, but $55 off, I mean, that brings it down to around $280. This is a phenomenal watch for $280. You're getting a lot. It also has an NH38 inside. That means when you pop that crown, you do get no ghost date position because this is a dateless watch. So it does pop out really nicely. Pull it out and there is no ghost date position. It does hack, it does hand wind, obviously because it is an NH product or a Seiko product. Very quickly, I'm going to show you the watch that I have on my wrist. Then we will do a quick lume shot after I show you the Reef Master 200 meters on my 7.5 inch wrist. Today I have Mombre on. This is a really cool watch from a micro brand that I think is very, very interesting looking. Really weird lugs on here. Fits really nicely, sits really nice on my 7.5 inch wrist, but may not be for everyone because it is a little bit of a weird fitment because of those lugs. But very quickly, let's take a look at the Phoibos on my wrist. There you go, on my 7.5 inch wrist, you can see it does not wear small, but it doesn't really wear big. It wears like a 42 millimeter watch. You do have a pretty tight lug to lug on this watch, especially considering you have those female end links. I think someone with a smaller wrist, a much smaller wrist than me, could probably pull this off. Well, the lume on Phoibos never disappoints. However, take a look at that dial. There is a line that goes around the entire dial that is completely lumed, and then of course every marking is lumed as well. The sandwich portion of the dial, everything is lumed, very, very brightly lumed, and the hands, the indices, everything here is really, really very crisp. They do a great job with the lume. They are not cheap with the lume. Considering this is around $280 right now until July 15th, I think this is a phenomenal deal, especially considering that lume is expensive. It also lasts very long and obviously very bright. Well, there you go, guys. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. The lume is insane here. The overall quality of this watch is very, very high. The only improvements that I would make is a larger crown and some on-the-fly micro adjust. That on-the-fly micro adjust might cost a little too much and add too much to the price of this watch. However, I would like to see it. I would actually pay more money for this watch with that micro adjust. I think that's a really cool option. But tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I will catch you in the next video.